Sungjin, a devoted disciple, sat attentively before Ambassador Yukgwan. The ambassador spoke of enlightenment and the path to inner peace. "Today, Sungjin, you will visit the Dragon Palace," Yukgwan announced. Sungjin bowed, accepting the task with solemn respect. He journeyed to the shimmering gates of the underwater kingdom. The Dragon King greeted him with lavish hospitality and offered him a feast. During the banquet, 8 ethereal figures appeared, the 8 Fairies. Their beauty and grace captivated Sungjin's senses instantly. He found himself drawn to their otherworldly charm and elegance. The fairies danced and sang, their voices like enchanting melodies. Sungjin's heart stirred with unfamiliar desires and worldly longings. He was no longer the detached and disciplined disciple. Ambassador Yukgwan sensed the change in Sungjin's spiritual state. "You have been tainted by worldly desires," Yukgwan said gravely. "As punishment, you must be banished to the mortal realm." Sungjin pleaded for forgiveness, but the decision was final. He was cast down from the celestial realm, falling through the clouds. He plummeted towards the earth, a shooting star in the night sky. Sungjin was reborn as Yang So-yu, a mortal infant. Years passed, and Yang So-yu grew into a brilliant young man. He excelled in his studies, driven by an insatiable thirst for knowledge. He entered the prestigious Jangwon class, a test of scholarly prowess. Yang So-yu demonstrated exceptional talent, surpassing all others. He passed the Jangwon class with flying colors, earning great renown. His success attracted the attention of many influential families. He married Gyeong-pae, a woman of noble birth and grace. He also married Princess Nanyang, a royal bride of exceptional beauty. His life became intertwined with these 2 remarkable women. But his heart still yearned for something more, something elusive. 6 concubines entered his life, each with unique charms. Their presence added to the richness and complexity of his days. He enjoyed the pleasures and comforts of his earthly existence. Yet, a nagging sense of emptiness lingered within him. He remembered fragments of his past life, like faded dreams. The faces of the 8 fairies haunted his waking thoughts. He felt a deep connection to them, a bond he couldn't explain. He sought solace in worldly achievements and romantic entanglements, but true happiness remained just beyond his grasp. His life was a tapestry woven with love, ambition, and desire, but the threads of his past were always present, pulling him back. He wondered if he would ever find true fulfillment. Or was he doomed to wander through this mortal realm forever? The memory of the Dragon Palace and the 8 fairies beckoned. He felt a pull towards his spiritual origins. But the allure of worldly pleasures kept him grounded. He was torn between 2 worlds, 2 destinies. His journey had just begun, and the path ahead was uncertain. He knew he had to make a choice, a decision that would define him. Would he embrace his earthly desires or seek enlightenment? The answer lay hidden within the depths of his soul. He continued to navigate the complexities of his life, hoping to find meaning and purpose in his existence. The echoes of his past life grew louder with each passing day. He felt the presence of Ambassador Yukgwan watching over him, guiding him towards the path of spiritual awakening. He knew that his ultimate destiny awaited him. But the journey would be long and arduous. He must overcome his worldly desires before he could return to the celestial realm and find true enlightenment. Yang So-yu, now a powerful general, faced the Tobon rebels. Victory would change everything. The battle raged, steel clashed, and arrows flew under a crimson sky. Yang So-yu, with unmatched skill, led his troops to a decisive victory. The Tobon rebellion was crushed, securing peace and his place in history. News of his triumph reached the emperor, who summoned Yang So-yu. The emperor, impressed by his valor, abdicated the throne to Yang So-yu. Yang So-yu ascended the throne, becoming the new ruler of the kingdom, now a king. Yang So-yu remembered the ethereal 8 fairies. He sought them out, his heart filled with a longing he couldn't explain. Through meditation, he reconnected with the fairies, their forms shimmering. The fairies appeared before him, their ethereal beauty unchanged by time. He spent days in their company, reminiscing about their past encounter. But amidst the power and ethereal beauty, a sense of unease grew within him. He began to question the meaning of his earthly achievements and desires. The faces of his wives and concubines swam before his eyes, a fleeting vision. He saw the endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth in the mortal realm. A profound realization struck him. Worldly possessions were ultimately meaningless. Power, love, and glory were transient, like a dream fading at dawn. He yearned for something more, something beyond the material world. He decided to renounce his throne and all his earthly possessions. He gathered his court and announced his intention to abdicate. His wives and concubines were heartbroken, but understood his spiritual calling. He entrusted the kingdom to a capable successor, ensuring its continued prosperity. Yang So-yu, now free from worldly burdens, sought solace in the sangha. He joined a Buddhist monastery, seeking enlightenment through meditation and study. He shaved his head and donned simple robes, embracing a life of austerity. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, as he deepened his spiritual practice. He meditated on the impermanence of life, the nature of suffering, and the path to liberation. One day, during deep meditation, he experienced a vivid dream. He saw himself as Sungjin, the disciple of Ambassador Yukgwan. He relived his visit to the Dragon Palace and his encounter with the fairies. He saw his subsequent reincarnation as Yang So-yu, his rise to power, and his renunciation. He understood that his entire life as Yang So-yu was a dream, a fleeting illusion. Suddenly, he awoke from the dream, finding himself back in the monastery. He was no longer Yang So-yu, but Sungjin, the disciple. He found himself back in the familiar presence of Ambassador Yukgwan. Ambassador Yukgwan smiled knowingly, his eyes filled with compassion. "You have awakened from your dream, Sungjin," the ambassador said gently. "You have experienced the allure and the emptiness of the mortal realm. Now, you are ready to embrace the true path to enlightenment." Sungjin bowed his head in gratitude, his heart filled with newfound understanding. He realized that the 8 fairies were also seeking enlightenment. He sought them out, sharing his newfound wisdom and guidance. Together, Sungjin and the 8 fairies embraced the teachings of Buddhism. They dedicated their lives to spiritual practice, seeking liberation from suffering. Through diligent meditation and virtuous actions, they purified their minds. They transcended the limitations of the mortal realm, achieving spiritual enlightenment. They were reborn into paradise, a realm of eternal bliss and peace. Their journey had come to an end, a testament to the power of faith. The 8 fairies smiled, finally free from worldly desires. Sungjin looked at them, his heart filled with peace and contentment. They had achieved their ultimate goal, reincarnation into paradise. The ambassador watched them ascend, his face radiating joy. Their story became a legend, a beacon of hope for all who seek enlightenment, a reminder that even amidst worldly desires, spiritual awakening is possible. The path to paradise is open to all who strive for inner peace. Sungjin and the 8 fairies had found their way home. Their journey, though arduous, had been worth every step. They had achieved the ultimate goal, eternal bliss in paradise. Their story echoed through the ages, inspiring countless others to seek enlightenment.